I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rock in Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. And welcome to this thing that we call the Knicks at Night podcast. Y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Let's go. Let's get it. Let me first salute to all the members, send a salute to all the members of the Lawrence Tears channel, man. I appreciate y'all. The numbers are growing. Appreciate y'all, man, for help supporting the channel, help keeping the lights on around here. Again, we have revamped the merch shop. So if you got any, if you browsing, go look at lawrencetears.myspreadshop.com for all the new merch, just in case you want to update your swag. Right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel good about where I am as a Knicks fan, man. It's good to see y'all, man. Ty Ray, Pudge Nice in the building. Yankees fans forever. Let's go. Let's get it, right? Man, get that energy up. We're about to have this Knicks talk the way that you like to have this Knicks talk to y'all. But we are about to have this Eastern Conference Battle Royal talk the way that y'all like to have it talked, and overall NBA talk the way that y'all like to have it talked to y'all, man. Because at this point of the season, all the tanker wanksters, they on their way home. We don't care. When you get under 20 games, some of these teams, they done folded up their tents. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't hitting a lick at a snake right now. But the contenders, such as your New York Knicks, yo, CWC is in the building. That's my man's. But yo, this time of season, when we talking about getting ready for these playoffs, now you talking. Now you are talking. Let me bring in my guy, man. You know what I'm saying? The homie network. You know how it go. You know what I'm saying? Show your love for our guy. What's good, boss?
What's good, man? What's good?
Hey, man, I'm excited, man. It's an exciting time in the NBA right now, man.
Yeah,
the trade deadline just passed. The fakers are on their way home. The playoffs are in sight. Now we
looking like a sleeper contender out there in the East, man.
Hey,
it's too soon to say.
Yeah, as far as my Knicks go, man, All I'm gonna say is I'm proud of the way that they're playing, and whatever happens this year, man. You know what I'm saying? We just want to go out there and make a good account for ourselves. Like I ain't ready to say we ready to knock off Milwaukee and go to the finals, right? If it happens, of course, I'm gonna be super excited, right? But just like you and I we were rocking with We Talk Hawks, and shout out to Damon too, by the way. We
Yeah,
were just talking, chopping it up with We Talk Hawks, bro.
them boys wild, man.
Yeah, this time right here, it's crazy because now it's like put up a shut up time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Push
Every
Nights was
win, you know what I'm saying? Every loss, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. What about y'all? How you feeling about the? Let me start because I don't know how to feel. And chat, y'all tell me how to. Yo, Adam is in the building. What's good, Adam? Yo, but let me ask you this because quite honestly, quite frankly, I'll be 10 times 10 with you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the kid that just got the Carolina Blue Jordan 11s for Christmas, but school don't start for another 2 weeks or start for another week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like in
every night until school start.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got. Like I feel like you know what I'm saying, the kid that Pops bought him a new car, not a new car, but bought a car that's new to him on like a Friday afternoon, and you can't drive to school till Monday morning.
Right.
You know, that's my feeling. Like excited and have like this unreasonable anticipatory feeling, but feel good about that.
Yeah.
That's why
I don't blame you, man. Y'all looking good, man. What are y'all like? What 12 games with 500 now?
11, 12 games over. Yeah, 11, 12 games over 500. Yeah, something like that, man. Something like that, man. I feel good about where we are because of where we've come from. And not only that though. We have the Celtics coming up. Right? So
you think that's gonna be the test, the barometer for y'all guys?
Kinda. It's gonna be. It's in Boston.
Oh man, okay.
It's in Boston, right? But my thing is, I feel as if we are going into that game healthy, and I feel like Boston, Jaylen Brown may still be banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so what I'm feeling is kind of like, I don't want to say it's a barometer game, but it's definitely one of those games I can call as even at this point. You know, I feel like either team can win, even though I'm rooting for my guys to win.
Man, to me, it's like, well, for one, it's not like, don't get me wrong, it's not like Boston. It's like some unbeatable juggernaut. They just lost the game to Brooklyn. You know, after giving up a 28, 29 point lead. So it's not like they're on.
Who we stomped, by the way. We beat Brooklyn so bad, we felt sorry for. Yeah. So
y'all got a lot of things going in your favor right now. As far as y'all are hot right now going into this game. You know, Boston did come off that embarrassing loss. Now maybe they can use that as motivation to play better in this game. I don't know, but
right,
it's gonna be. I mean, you got to use that motivation while playing a team that's coming in playing hot. Like y'all not the Nets. You know what I'm saying? That was your opportunity to just take care of business against the Nets, and now you're playing a team that's one of the hottest teams in the league right now. So,
right,
I don't know, man. I'm look back maybe last year or a year before. You know, games like this, y'all would probably chalk it up as a loss, right? Y'all are actually going in here, man, with a chance of actually probably stealing one, man. And if y'all did, would anybody be surprised?
Nobody would be surprised. And then plus two, we quite frankly, I'm gonna say this. It's gonna come across the song. I'm gonna say this. It's gonna come across arrogant, but I'm not being arrogant, right?
It's your word, man. You got it.
But I don't believe that the Knicks are hot. I think this is this is who we are, right? Now, can we lose playing like this? Of course we can. Any team can lose, right? But what I'm saying is this brand of basketball that we're playing, like with the good defense, right?
Right.
With the very underrated offense. I think we're top 6 and top 7 in the NBA, just to be generous, right? In offense right now. So we're probably top 7, or I think we're like top 11 defense, top 7 offense. And the reason why we were top 11 defense is because our defense was bad for that game. December 3rd is a date that will live in infamy. That's the day where the Mavs, the Mavericks washed us up one side of the floor and down the other.
And man, and we still talk about that game, man. We still talk
Yes.
about that game.
Yes.
Oh
Y'all
my
washed
God.
us up one side of the floor and down the other. And since that time, we're 27-14.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
on a previous show.
Yeah. So if you're a Knicks fan, a lot of Knicks fans are saying it with their chest, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The Battle Royal, which is the Eastern Conference, though,
Yeah,
it's got bodies all over the place, bro. Like Miami just knocked off the Hawks. We was just over there.
yeah.
with
I actually
Lamont
watched
and
that
them. They
game.
mad, bro. They mad.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they better than Miami. And they lost to Miami. And we escaped Miami last night. Right? Randall absolutely destroyed Bam Adebayo.
hey, I saw you. I saw your video, man. I saw your
Oh yeah, hey,
video.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
man. And yeah, I kind of lost it a little bit. Miss Mocha was like, my voice went up like 5 or 6 octaves on it because I
Right.
couldn't believe it. But yeah, man, my thing is in this Eastern Conference and the NBA in general, right? Man, it's gonna be a horse race to the finish. Now, in the Western Conference, I just feel like it's thoroughbreds over there, bro. They don't care about the records. They just trying to get right for the playoffs. And I think
Yeah.
Dallas is one of them teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just fix some. Let's just fix some stuff, and then that way we'll be hitting on all cylinders when the playoffs come.
And that's how we doing, man. We're just trying to get everything clicking. You know what I mean? Just because we had 2 guys we just added. Or should I say it's more than 2 guys, but 2 of the guys we added, man, you're just trying to get them acclimated, right? You're trying to get everybody else, kind of on the same page and get these guys acclimated
Right.
with the team that we have. Of course, y'all know Kyrie and Luka, they're starting to kind of get it a little bit now.
Right.
I know y'all probably saw the Philadelphia game. That's
Yeah.
probably the best at what we can see have to offer, man. If they both are clicking at the same time, which is not, it hasn't really been any problem with them clicking. I think the one major problem is it's like Kyrie is trying to trying to fit in. He's trying to step back and let Luka do his thing. And look, we didn't bring you here to just step back and just let Luka do his thing. That's everybody else is already doing that. We need you to be Kyrie. You know what I mean? And so that game against Philadelphia was the example of what we've been asking him to do. Just go out there and play your game, man. And the rest of the flow, don't worry about Luka, man. He's gonna be fine. And we saw that Luka still got his 40. You got your 40 being Kyrie. So when they both kind of realize that, man, the sky's the limit. The only thing we really need to work on right now is our defense, man. That's the issue we're having right now.
I think a lot of NBA contenders basically have the same issue. A lot of NBA contenders are like, when you hear them, I was listening to Eat Sleep Sixers earlier, and a lot of what you said is exactly what they were saying. We could score whenever we want, man. We don't have to take turns, man. They could just play together. We just got to fix the defense.
Yep.
Right. And when you ask Knicks fans what they prefer, like what do they think? A lot of the Knicks fans use the same rhetoric to say the same message. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Brunson and Randall are cooking right now. All we got to do is shore up the defense. Well, I'm here to tell you, bro, that if I have a Luka and a Kyrie, I think I'm comfortable with them in any best of 7 series against anybody on the planet, just for the mere fact that the randomness of one person going off to win you a game is going to happen. You don't know who that person is on the Mavericks roster, but it happens in every series. Every series is going to have the unexpected guy go off in a series, you know what I'm saying? And then, oh boy, here come the I know basketball, man. Let me cue him. You know he a superstar. He can't come in without his intro. So let me get his theme music. Here he is right here. Dre is in the building.
What
What's
up,
good,
Dre? What up,
superstar?
man?
What up, bro? What up, Freezy? How y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Good,
Not
man.
too
Good.
bad, man. Not too bad.
Bro, so I don't know if
I
you,
would I
you
would
caught it, but
so your duo dropped 80 basically the other night or was
Yeah,
it last night?
yeah.
And they were
Night
actually
before.
playing off each other for once.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I was
We'll
just
see.
telling
We'll see what
Freezy, it's
development
just
between them two.
Kyrie finally became Kyrie, man. He finally just played aggressive,
Yeah.
without taking a back seat.
My,
Yeah,
my bad for
man.
this track for the track a little bit, Freezy. My fault.
No. What I was gonna say, bro, is the Eastern Conference is a battle royal, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Western Conference for the most part, you know, some teams ain't going. San Antonio ain't
Hey,
doing
my
nothing.
bad.
OKC
What?
ain't doing nothing. Houston ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then it's paper champions over there. Sacramento ain't doing nothing. This their first year. They look like they might shock somebody, but they won't. Denver is historically Denver. Like they win a lot of games in a regular season, but when it come down to the nitty gritty of the NBA playoffs, when you get them out of altitude to play in a 7 game series, they fight for a little bit, then they fold up. Because the
Right.
altitude benefit them during the regular season. You get them out of altitude during the playoffs where they got to play 2 games. Say they got to play 2 games in Phoenix. I
Right.
don't trust that. I don't even with the MVP. But for the
Right.
Knicks, when you're looking at the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Heat, the Hawks, even the Wizards are trying to do something, bro. I'm thinking it's going to be a dogfight, all the way to the wire. And if you're a Knicks fan, are you comfortable with that? Like personally, I got air in my chest. I'm like, I'm the Kevin Hart dude. Say it with your chest. I'm like that right now, right? Just because I'm confident, not in the end result, but the process that gets us to the end result. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Um.
Y'all think y'all gonna make it to the 4th seed?
Uh.
You only a game and a half from
Cavs
from
won the.
getting Cleveland.
I
Yeah.
believe we play one more game against the Cavs, but I don't know who they're playing in these last 20 or so games.
And plus, we got to look at what their schedule looks like too, because we have a pretty tough schedule down the stretch.
Oh,
But we
yeah,
got to look at what their schedule looks like too. Just because, like, if we pass them in the standings, can we stay there in the standings? Is my issue.
right.
Well, we have
Y-
one more game to decide who has the
The
tiebreaker. If
tiebreaker,
we
right?
beat them, then we have the tiebreaker. I
I'm
think,
confident. I'm confident. I'm confident, man. Against any team. We just saw the Sixers beat the Bucks tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it on my phone.
Dre, what you thinking? You confident with this Knicks team?
um, there's only, I mean, for how it shakes out in terms of like seeding, I'm confident we'll get like maybe 4 or 5. But the thing that makes or breaks everything is the adjustments in the playoffs, the ability to go away from what's been working for you for the entire year and being able to pivot and adjust to what teams are trying to take away from you. So
Right.
I feel confident enough where any team in the East besides the Bucks, I think we have more than a puncher's chance against them in a series. Like we have multiple guys at this current moment that are playing at all NBA levels, and that is part of the key that you need to win playoff series. You need two guys playing at a high level, regardless of what they may be perceived as or the general consensus if these guys are superstars or not superstars. The idea of the superstars goes beyond just play on the court. But if you have two guys that are playing at near all NBA or all NBA caliber levels, you'd be hard pressed to not feel confident in your team. Now, when you when you were referencing the West, saying like there's teams not really doing anything or hovering around the 500 mark, a lot of those teams present two all NBA type guys. So while we might think of them lower or lesser, there's also context in between why these teams are not performing at or their records aren't what they should be. But when you go into a playoff series and you see Kawhi and PG over there, they be confident. You go into a playoff series and the Mavs have Luka and Kyrie. No matter what the hell's going on around them with role players, those guys are so dominant and so talented. They could take over a game. They can win you a game or two just because. And I'm pushing back a little bit because
I was gonna say we saw it last year.
I'm
not those teams, right? The teams I'm talking about are I'm talking about the Portlands. I'm talking about the Lakers.
Nah.
I'm talking about the Lakers without LeBron.
But like those, when you say the Wizards are trying to do something, ain't nobody really scared of the Wizards though. Ain't nobody scared of the Wizards. I mean, they could try it. I mean, they have talent, but when it comes to them,
but they're trying to do something. Are they better than the Raptors? I don't care. Right? I don't care if they're better than the Raptors or not. Because no matter what happens, only one of them two teams are going to advance. Right? Well, what I'm saying is they trying to do something. They might try to make it in. I have more confidence in them in Toronto than I do in Chicago. That's right on their heels, right?
And I want to say Toronto's actually turned it around. While they play like a very ugly style of basketball at this current moment, they've won like 9 of the last 12 or something like that. Like they've been
Nick Nurse is overrated. 7-3 in the last 10 games.
Yeah, so I mean, Nick Nurse is overrated. He's still a pretty good coach. He's not a bad coach. Like I'm not.
Nah, he's not.
There are
I
things
take him over Jason Kidd.
Oh, for sure. Like the Jason Kidd curse is real.
It's real, bro.
that second year curse is real.
Oh my god, bro.
Yeah, he's a Fizdale, a message coach. He's gonna give you a great message the first year, rally the troops, and then after the troops get rallied up, they'll be like, "Well, what's the strategy?" Well,
I got to do a strategy.
Yeah, I ain't got no strategy. Yeah, he a David Fizdale, bro. It happens, bro.
He's the guy that empowers a guy to unlock certain parts of their games,
right?
And then the next year, he doesn't know how to take that particular skill set to the next level.
To the next level.
Yeah. It's like y'all said Josh Green, but okay.
Yeah, exactly Josh Green. Exactly Josh Green, bro.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
the idea of Giannis becoming more of a playmaker, that was all Jason Kidd.
Yeah. Listen. I'm not taking away the development part.
5, 6 assists. He can develop. Well, after he gets them to the development part, the X's and O's is where he lacks.
Yep, that is it.
But again, the thing with Kidd, and salute to the chat, by the way. I see everybody smoking Nick Adam, Illmatics, man. I see y'all in chat. Salute to y'all. Just real quick. The Jason Kidd, the Milwaukee Bucks thing, I keep saying it over and over, and maybe I'm a hater because I'm a Knicks fan, but right. I realistically think that the Giannis thing was an accident, right? They accidentally had to pour their resources into him because they drafted the cat number 2, and he kept tearing his ACL, his knee ligaments.
Jabari Parker.
Yeah, and then nobody knew Man, the Pistons were trying to give them Chris Middleton and Spencer Dinwiddie, and the Bucks wouldn't take it in that Chris Middleton trade. Y'all remember that the trade they got Chris Middleton
Sent Chris
and
Middleton to Milwaukee.
yeah, and they were getting garbage time minutes off the Detroit Pistons bench. And the Bucks were like, no, we don't have the roster spot. And they were like, well, just cut somebody. And I think they were like, we don't want to cut Ersan Ilyasova for Spencer Dinwiddie. It was something ridiculous like that for Spencer Dinwiddie. And then when you look back at it, you like, what? Y'all didn't want to cut John Henson for Spencer Dinwiddie?
Dang, he said
So-
John Henson.
Yeah, so-
John Henson.
Yeah, so it's like when you look back at it, I don't look at the Milwaukee Bucks like with magical glasses. I just think they were fortunate. Dre, remember the other night I was telling you winning championships requires luck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it requires. Yeah, and also you got to make your own luck.
Yeah, you got to make your
to a
own
certain
luck.
extent. Yeah,
However
so-
you get it, you got to have it, right?
right.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like Kawhi being a mid first rounder, Giannis being a mid first rounder,
right.
It's like
Jimmy
organizations
Butler going
can
30.
yeah, like it takes organizations getting lucky. Sometimes organizations can pool their resources and develop a guy, and plainly, some of the work has to be on the player because
Right.
the player themselves. When you look at someone that's a generational talent, a lot of it is them. A lot of
Right.
it is they would thrive and develop themselves relatively to be maybe 85 to 90% of whatever they were going to become. In my mind, as far as
Right.
the guys that put the work in, like the Jimmy Butlers of the world, he put the work
Right.
in to be good as he is. Because
Right.
I don't.
Because truth be told, Tony Snell was better than him in the beginning in Chicago. Tony Snell was 2 times better than Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler wasn't even great defensive. He was just energy. And Tony Snell was defense and sharp shooting threes. Right?
Like
The only
like,
thing is
Jimmy
Tony
Butler would just
Snell
run through a
couldn't.
wall. That's about it.
Yeah, and Tony Snell couldn't parlay that to development on the next level. Like he couldn't
Right.
develop a handles package where he could create threes for himself and score.
Right.
Kind of like what you see Cam Johnson doing right now with the Nets. How we thought Cam Johnson was a spot up shooter, and all of a
Right.
sudden he put the ball on the floor.
Oh,
Like, why you didn't do that in Phoenix?
Bro, did you see Detroit? Did you watch
You
you see Sadiq Bey today?
Sadiq Bey is
He did the exact same thing. I was like, who is this?
Where this been
I
at?
was saying, like, where's it been? Like, I was like, okay.
Right.
You roll the cats up. I'm like, oh, God.
He was putting the ball on the floor. You know what the thing is? Like,
Yes.
Sadiq Bey had a 50-point game before, but it was majority of just him shooting and getting ready
Yeah.
to hop from three.
Yeah.
And his game has changed a bit where he can operate between the mid range. He can put the ball on the floor. He can get his own shot. And it's something surprising to see. Matter of fact, and I wanted to extend that to Mikal Bridges because even though Mikal is 26, he's kind of evolving his game into just being more than a catch and shoot guy or off the dribble. I mean, off the move or off the catch. He has an in between game now, and it's a pretty effective one. I think he's averaging like 23, 24 since he got to the Nets.
Right. So you don't, Well, for one, let me do this real quick. I got a question I want to ask both of you gentlemen, right?
Mhm.
But let me address the super chat first. So Bully is in the building. Bully, thank you for being a member of the channel and helping this channel being one of the dopest Knicks channels on YouTube, right? Also, thank you for your generous contribution. Bully says, salute Unc, Peace, Dre, Rel, TSK. We are on fire. Bim, bim, bim. Let's keep it going. And I am absolutely with you, sir. Let's keep this thing going. Shout out to Keith Turner in the building and everybody in the chat. But I have a question for both of y'all. And I'm just going to ask this as a conscientious observer. I'm going to ask you guys this about both of you guys' team, and I'm going to say totally neutral.
Okay.
Between now and the time that the playoffs start, what non-superstar player would you like to see on your team develop most to help push your team to that championship contention? Dre, I'm gonna start with you since you know what I'm saying, since you know what I'm saying, this your
It's on
yard.
our team already, right? That's what you.
Yeah,
That's
already on my
on our
team.
team. Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm asking. What guy on your team would you like to see develop, take his game to the next level to help your superstars push, or that's not a superstar, help push your current team to your team to that championship level? Which guy do you want to see develop to help get this team to the championship level that's not already a superstar?
Uh, okay, I'm gonna keep it real. The easy answer would probably be RJ, but
Right.
I feel like
Mm.
this answer, I won't put Grimes to
Mm.
basically turn into a dead eye sniper.
Okay.
Because the
Dead on sniper meaning what?
40 around 42, 44 from three because he's getting wide
Okay.
open looks playing with
On
the
how
two
many
guys like that.
shots?
Eight threes a game.
8.
Mm.
Yes,
Okay.
8.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
When you watch the Mavs play, do you know how many threes Reggie Bullock takes?
Oh no. I know.
A lot.
No, I'm
You talking
speaking
about-
of Freezy. Like,
Yeah, I
and
know. I watch him.
a lot of them are completely wide open.
Wide open,
Oh,
uncontested. I saw him catch the ball out of bounds. Bro, I was watching the Mavs play. I saw this dude catch the ball out of bounds on a corner three. And only thing, it just made me realize I'm so excited about Grimes over Bullock. I can't stand myself.
The dude shoots the most. Now, one thing I will give Reggie, he shoots the most wide open corner. Well, he shoots the most wide open corner threes, and he also shoots the most corner threes in the NBA.
Okay.
And since I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but I told King this I think a couple shows ago.
Shout out to
I
King
think-
too, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to my boy King, man. They it's probably like 20 games now, maybe a little bit more than that. He's been shooting like 46, 47% on threes for like damn near 20 games. So we finally getting that Reggie Bullock we had last year towards the second half of the season going into the playoffs. Finally.
And I feel like a lot of that has to do with his minutes being given like on an uptick. Because I feel like the best version of Reggie Bullock, rather not that he's a great player or anything like that, but when he's getting 33, 34 minutes a night,
That's what he was getting, Drake.
I feel like when I was watching, I feel like he was like I don't know. I feel like he was around 28, 29. And
Like,
I feel
we were-
this last
the issue we
stretch,
were-
he's been on an uptick.
Like the issue we were having was he was getting those 30 something plus minutes
Oh,
and
too many.
wasn't producing. You know what I mean? Like his
Right.
minutes were going up, it seemed like, and then Christian Woods was going down. That's always been our issue. It's like he has so many
And I
games
feel
where
like-
he's putting
yeah.
zeros across the board, man, and he's playing like 32 minutes. It's like,
Why?
And that's
thank you.
Like
That's what we were saying. It
it's a-
didn't make any sense.
I was gonna say it's like might be a roster composition issue because you don't necessarily have that many defensive wings on that team, and he qualifies.
But hey, Dre,
for
let me
that.
get back to you. Let me get back to the
Oh, yeah,
question
go.
though. Let me get back to the question. So the question. So when I asked the question, so you think if Grimes becomes a sharpshooter down the stretch, 42% from three on 8 threes a game, so that's probably gonna be about 4 point. That's gonna be about 3.6 threes, 3.7 threes a game.
Made.
Yeah, 3.4 made threes a game. So you're basically looking at him maybe averaging about 16, 17 points per game down the stretch in order for the Knicks to become a championship level contender.
I'll say more closer to 15, but yeah, because when we get down to the nitty gritty and we get down into the playoffs, teams are going to we think Brunson and Randall get double teamed now or get pressed now, just like the superstars like Luka and Kyrie. When they get to the playoffs, they will be trapped as soon as they get across half court.
Right.
They will be like teams will throw up junk defenses, and the elite can get by that with playmaking and ball handling and all the skills that make great players great. But our guys in microcosm of that is, even though Julius Randle hit that three, he's a power forward 35 feet away from the rim, fumbling the ball.
Right.
You need a pressure release. You need guys like Quentin Grimes to step up. The only reason
Okay.
he got pressed like that and trapped like that is because teams are not as scared to leave a shooter open on this team. They would rather trap Brunson, trap Randall instead of let these shooters get off. And a lot of the times, even though Quentin Grimes shoots a decent percentage, it feels like a lot of the timing threes he misses. A lot of the momentum changing shots, the ones that
Okay.
would swing everything. And granted, he's been improving in that because in this 8-game win streak, you've seen it. But over the course of the season, he's kind of been up and down on those big momentum changing shots. And it's just like if
Okay.
he were to be around the 14, 15 points per game guy, and he's like automatic, well, I won't say automatic, but I want to say like 42, 41, 42 from three, that would alleviate so much pressure from Randall and Brunson because Randall is a power forward and Brunson can get around and do what he needs to do, but we need like honestly we shoot. You saw the statistics. We shoot 23. We're 23rd in 3-point percentage,
Okay.
and we're still an elite offense. Well, relatively, we're an elite offense. We're like top 5, top 6 in offensive rating. Now imagine if those wide open shots went in at a higher clip.
Okay.
What would we be looking at?
So we'd be looking at teams not being able to double Julius Randle on the catch or trap Jalen Brunson up top once he goes to one side of the floor.
Right.
Basically, that's basically what we'll be looking at if we go by what you're saying. And Dre, to your point, just wanted to mention this. The Knicks shoot bad from three, right? The Knicks shoot bad from three. But the last month or so, ever since February 2nd, Julius Randle is shooting about 39% from three, right?
High volume tough shots too, by the way. So like
Yeah.
that 39 ain't no regular. That ain't a catch and shoots 39.
No. And quite frankly, Randle he shot the three bad in October. He shot the three bad in December, right? But the other months, Randle is shooting out of his mind from three, right? But now that we got Grimes out of the way, let's talk to Rel. Rel, what do you think? Which guy do you want to see step there? Which non-superstar would you like to see step their game up in hopes of pushing your team to that championship level?
You know what? I was going to start with Josh Green, but I'm going to change it up. I'm going to say Christian Wood.
Wow.
Yeah. Now
That was unexpected.
I don't understand him getting 22 minutes a game.
Dre, listen, man. I'm trying to tell you. It's funny because King said this on our show the other day. He talked about that. He said, man, if you listen to everybody else outside of the Mavdom, you know, everybody's asking the same question. You know what I mean? It's like, we don't know why he's not getting any minutes. We had a show with a couple of guys who are insiders, or we got inside sources with the Mavericks organization on our members only show, and you know, they kind of was laying out some news to us and stuff. Man, it's kind of making a lot of sense on what was going on with this whole Christian Wood thing. Man, it's crazy, but anyway, Christian Wood, man, if he can come in, if he can give us around the production, maybe a couple more rebounds, more than he gave us in the small little stint that he started in before he got hurt. If we can get that Christian Wood, I think we'll do something, man. Especially with Kyrie and Luka doing what they do. You get Christian Wood to do what he did when he had that start, when he was starting, and the sky's the limit with this team. And now when I say that, I'm not talking about just the offense. Like, he was a defensive anchor for us in that span, man. That's what we need.
And I was gonna like say, are they, not to completely detract, but what are they like lessening his value so they can re-sign him or something? Like, is it something?
So I guess I'm safe to say it here. I guess I'm safe to say it here. That's what it was, Dre. That's what it was. The guys on our show have talked to some people behind the scenes and also talked to Christian Wood's agent. So a lot of stuff that we've been speculating before we knew anything
Right.
is what's happening. They've
Really?
been trying to lessen his value. They were trying to give him a contract extension before the season started.
Right.
It was going to be lesser than what the contract extension would have been around December, which was
Okay.
at 77. So they were trying to get as much. Kind of, matter of fact, it's the same thing we did to Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing we did to Jalen Brunson. And where's Jalen Brunson at right now?
Is it the same thing y'all did to Steve Nash?
That's different. That was different.
Okay.
That was just Cuban didn't want to flat out pay him anymore, which is the stupidest thing ever. But anyway, yeah. So that what you're saying, Drake, is if everybody's thinking that, that's exactly what happened. Like I said, with the guys we had on our show yesterday, are guys who have inside sources behind the scenes and stuff, man, with some of the Mad Brass, and they also talked to Christian Wood's agent. So yeah, that's exactly what it was. They're trying to get a cheap deal out of him. They gave him a contract. They talked to him about a contract extension, but there was no number placed. So
Okay.
we don't know what the number was. And
'Cause I thought it
because
was
of
like
all of that,
77 million or something like that.
well, no, that's what he could have been offered. So before, that was around December.
For how many years?
So-
4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
Okay.
So
yeah.
around, they were trying to. So what he said? Okay, he said they tried to give him the first time they tried to talk to him about the extension. It was in September, which means that the extension would have been a lot cheaper than that 77.
Yeah.
And so he turned it down twice.
Okay.
And like I said, but that was what the report was, that he would have been offered 77. But the news that he got from his agent was they didn't talk about a number yet. And so because it seems like when he turned that contract down, the thumb injury that he had where he was out for a little bit was kind of gave him the
He
kind
got
of
hurt.
excuse.
He got hurt the same time Mitch got hurt.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
So. It's like when that happened, that kind of gave him an excuse to kind of cut his minutes down. It's kind of like a punishment. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you didn't want to take that contract, so we're gonna cut your minutes down. Which is why, like, I think last game he only had like 14 minutes. And like a guy like Christian Wood, you're not gonna get any rhythm in playing like 12, 13, 14 minutes, bro. When you've been, you really should be getting 30 minutes a game, but they've been playing like 25 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? So.
And I was wondering, like, initially when I saw the mention, I was like, okay, because his past reputation was that he wasn't necessarily a good defender.
He is not a good defender, bro.
Well,
And that's the thing. And Freeze, that's the thing. He was a
he's
good
been better
defender.
this year.
He was probably our best defender in that stretch he started.
Okay.
When you started taking his minutes away, man, and you started killing his confidence, you started taking his minutes away, like I said, how you going to get into any kind of rhythm if you're playing like 12, 13, 14 minutes?
But I researched it. I was thinking, because I'm thinking, like, why is Christian Wood not playing? But
Yeah.
when I look at his defensive metrics, this is the worst defensive season of his career. If you only go by the numbers, now
Yeah.
I don't look at every possession.
there's
I ain't gonna
a
lie.
little bit more
Yeah.
context. Yeah, might
Yeah.
be a little bit more context to it.
You know, the main thing I look at is make or miss. Will a
Right.
dude make a shot versus him defensively? And yes, people make shots versus him defensively. That's one of the things, and that can be maddening when you're like, you're a bucket, but you're a sieve at the same time.
Let me ask you a question though. Who did he play for last year before he got to us?
The
Rockets.
The Rockets.
Were the Rockets anywhere close to being contenders?
No, the Rockets were trash.
Before that, who did he play for?
Pistons.
The Pistons.
Were they anywhere close to being contenders?
No.
So let me ask you a question. If now you played for Detroit, right? Which we already know that Detroit was
He's still trash.
exactly, right? So why am I motivated to play for that team? Which is the reason why he left. He went to Houston. Now, the Houston situation, when he went to Houston, matter of fact, his agent talked about this too. When he went to Houston, I said this before, nobody knew that James Harden was going to ask for a trade. His mind frame was...
John Wall didn't know that either.
Yeah, nobody knew that, right? So his mind frame was, I'm going to go to Houston and play, because he wanted to play with, he said his agent said he wanted to play with a point guard like a James Harden, a Luka, LaMelo Ball. He said somebody else
that.
too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when that was the one reason why he went to Houston. Like, let's give him an opportunity to play with a contender, because every team he's been with so far are teams that's trash. Like when he went to New Orleans wasn't a playoff team at that time. You know what I'm saying? And they cut him.
Right.
And so, like I said, like the teams he played for, he had no motivation to even play over there. Right. So that's why it was like
that's always been a knock on Christian Wood, though, right?
Yeah.
Even at Vegas.
Yeah.
Even at Vegas.
And that's why he didn't get drafted.
What's his motivation? And it's the thing. Like, if I got to motivate a guy, I don't know if I want him. If I'm the Mavs, I'm like offer this dude money. If he don't take it, I'm looking at Jeremy Grant.
Ooh.
Dre, what you
But
think?
I'm thinking, you might want to mute him. But I'm thinking.
My bad.
I'm thinking, what, like, even if you, from a basketball point of view, if they're afraid of his defense, well, Maxi Kleber's back. Why can't he just play next to Maxi? Maxi's a pretty good defender.
Thank you.
As well. So I mean, they could run a little bit of a Twin Towers kind of look, even though they're both
Maxi's a good defender.
Yes. Yeah, he's a pretty good defender.
He's a really good defender.
His reputation over the last few years, he's been a pretty solid defender.
Yeah, in
terms of rim protection and keeping quick guards in front of him.
Yeah,
he doesn't get exploited basically on defense at all.
He was an argument that it was either him or Dorian as our two best. Could have been our best defenders.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I would see that scenario where we put those two together and try to stagger their minutes. But when it comes down to it in the playoffs, I don't see any reality where Christian Wood doesn't play 30 minutes a night in the playoffs. Yeah. And God forbid goes off, and the Mavs might have to lose him again when they were planning on him going on.
Dre, he gone, Dre. I'm going to bet King's house on it. He's gone, man.
Talking about Christian Wood?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, probably. But even Maxi is also having the worst defensive year of his career too.
He's been hurt out with injuries.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
Yeah,
no.
Let me snitch real quick. Let me be a stool pigeon real quick. Right? I don't think it's a Christian Wood issue or a Maxi issue or a Reggie Bullock, Frank Ntilikina, Josh Green issue. I think
I know you're going with this, Freezy. Go ahead.
I think it's a Jason Kidd issue.
What?
Right? Because some of this stuff, you can't point to everybody having the same precipitous drop off and think it's these individuals.
Yep.
You feel me? Like, you can't. It just makes no sense that you look at a bunch of individuals having the same effect on them, and then point to these same four players and be like, well, all four of them simultaneously had a precipitous drop off defensively. It's Kidd. It's Jason Kidd. Let's keep it a buck.
Hey, King, Freeze, I'm gonna tell you why I know it's Kidd. One example. Who's the one young guy on our team that you've been talking about all the time? Every time I talk to you,
Josh Green and Hardy.
There you go. He completely took Josh Green out of the starting lineup.
Yep.
And put Justin Holiday in. He signed on the dotted line and he put Justin Holiday in day one.
Day one.
Now you built this kid up, you installed his confidence and all that stuff, man, and you took him out the starting lineup for a dude who, like you would say, come off the scrap heap.
Yep.
How much sense did that make to you?
Off the scrap heap, bro.
That's coaching, man. That's coaching.
Yep. That's coaching. That's coaching, man.
It's just some of the decisions I watch, like when I do watch Mavs games, it kind of makes me scratch my head because it's like these rotations don't make sense.
Dre, how do we feel?
This offense doesn't necessarily make sense. It's just that Luka is so generational. He just makes it work.
Yep.
And Dre, just real quick about Justin Holiday, though. Just really quick about Justin Holiday, right? So Justin Holiday, let me tell you something. So Justin Holiday is an old wing player. I know because he used to play for the Knicks. Justin Holiday played for the Knicks. I know who Justin Holiday is. I know he is. Yeah. he is a athletic wing defender that can sometimes score against certain teams. I know who he is, right? But for the Mavericks, let me tell you who he is. He's an old man getting in the way of a young, athletic, bouncy wing that was on fire before Holiday arrived. And let me also tell you one thing. With the Atlanta Hawks, his defensive rating was 112. Do you know what it is with the Dallas Mavericks? 115. 115
I
with
believe it.
Dallas, right? And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker with a guy like that. When you play with a Luka and you play with a Kyrie, right? When you play with those type of guys, those two guys have gravity.
Yep.
So in theory, your three guys should be playing against either one or two other guys scrambling on D, because you got to double Luka and you got to double Kyrie, right? So it should be 3 on 1, the other on the opposite side of the ball. This dude's assist percentage is 13, right? So now you're like, okay, so if you're not impacting defensively and you're not impacting offensively, what are you doing out here?
Freezy, his best game was against San Antonio, the worst team in the league.
Oh, dude.
But also that speaks to front office getting guys that can only do one thing, not much else.
Right.
And,
Right. And I don't want to number I don't want to number y'all to death, but in order for me to quantify what it is that I'm saying, I have to have some backup. Like, yeah, like you have to, insert some data into this, because when I say an old wing player shouldn't be starting in front of a young, bouncy, promising wing player, it sounds like that young player got plenty of time. No, not when that old man is out there not doing nothing.
Freezy, who's a better passer?
Green.
Okay, who's a better defender?
Green.
Who's a better scorer?
Green by default. He's always been a better scorer.
So then why is he starting?
Why is he getting minutes over Hardy? I'm sorry. Why is he getting minutes over Hardy?
So King asked me this, might have been last show as a matter of fact. He asked me, do I think that they're ever going to play Hardy again for the rest of the season? I said no.
No.
Because if you started Holiday over Josh Green, you know that they're not going to play Hardy no more.
No. And then y'all also have other young guards too, right? Y'all got the Lawson kid out of Carolina. Y'all cut him.
No, we didn't. I think they're two ways. So I think you know how it is. Like I think they only play like a certain amount of games or something like that.
Okay.
And before they got to go back to the G League or something like that. I forgot what it was, but yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see their name on the DMP, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Dre. So I'm gonna ask myself the question that I asked you guys. What non-star player for my team would I like to see elevate in order to get us to that championship level?
Yeah.
And for me, the answer is easy. It's Emmanuel Quickly. Right? I'd like to see Emmanuel Quickly pick up more defensive assignments, right? Like, so we don't see Philly anymore, but say, what hard team we got? Miami. I'd like to see more Emmanuel Quickly on Tyler Hero down the stretch. I want to see him on all the hard assignments, right? So
Is he there, Freezy? He at that level now? He can do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quickly.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put it on the screen. Emmanuel Quickly, and I know people hate when I number people to death, right? But I have to say this. I have to support my argument with something, right? Emmanuel Quickly at the time, I think this is about a month ago when I mentioned it. Emmanuel Quickly was Dre. You sent it to me, right?
What was the stat?
The stat that's
where it's like guys that shoot like he's like second in defensive field goal
percentage against. He's second in the NBA.
Right. As of that time, I don't know what it is.
At that time, that was like 10 days ago, right? So Rel, the dude is second in the NBA in field goal percentage against. So what I'd like to do is give him more assignments against tough covers, kind of like how we did Elfrid Payton. Right. Now, I don't want to ruin the kid, right? But what I'd like to do is give him more of a role and the defense and offense, right? Because even with him and Obi on the floor together, you see Obi's defense is light years better with just them two on the floor together. Obi playing without him, I think is I think average NBA average or whatever.
Yeah, it's precipitous. It dips a little bit, and
Yeah.
it's part of the reason because IQ plays a lot of free safety out there and
Right.
directing everyone all over the court, which is
Right.
something you love to see out of a
A young
23-year-old,
player.
22-year-old guard. And
Yeah.
Let me ask y'all-
and I want to say like it's kind of a little bit of an overlap because when IQ's out there, we kind of trust Grimes with that role in terms of the toughest defensive assignment, whether it's a 1, 2, 3. So when he's out there, we kind of default like Tibbs would rather Grimes be on him because Grimes is a little bit bigger.
Right.
So in his
Yeah.
mind, he's more comfortable with him throwing him on 3s and 2s. And relatively, IQ is at his best checking 1s and some 2s, not big 2s in my mind. Not
Let me-
big 2s.
Can I ask y'all a question about that? Well, it's based off of your pick, Freezy, and you talking about him getting those opportunities, right, to guard the harder assignments. So when you're developing players, how do you do the balance of, excuse me, I want to work you in, but I want you to get enough of this to get an understanding of how to do this from now on. You know what I mean? Like, because I know you say you don't want to scare them or whatever. Like, you want to
Don't
put
wanna
too
break
much on
them.
them.
Yeah.
But what's enough? You know what I mean? Like, what's enough to say like, okay, I'm
that's-
doing the right amount to get you in that position to be able to handle this going forward.
Okay, so let me start by saying this. The way that the Knicks do it is perfect. The way that the Houston Rockets do it is terrible. Right? And so ultimately what I'm getting at is and that team in between is the Orlando Magic. So what happens is people look at the Knicks on the outside looking in and think we're an older veteran team.
Yeah.
But we're not. We're actually a young team. We carry old guys like Derrick Rose and Evan Fournier and guys like that. But for the most part, our two best players are 28 and under, right? Our starting center is 25. His backup is 25, right? Randall's backup is 23. Our starting small forward is 22. Our starting two guard is 23. May have just turned 23 here recently, right? Emmanuel Quickly is 23, right? So and we just added Josh Hart, who's 27. So when you look at it, when you look at our team, the perception is that we're a kind of an older team. We have an older coach. We're a historic team, so it gives the vibes that we play old school basketball, but not really, because like I was talking to Dre about maybe last week, when you look at the Knicks offense, we're running the same thing that the Clippers and sometimes the Denver Nuggets are running, right? But the Clippers run it at the point of attack with Paul George, and we run it at the point of attack with Jalen Brunson. The Nuggets run it at the point of attack with Jamal Murray and Jokic, and we run it at the point of attack with Brunson and Julius Randle. So even though it looks different, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is teams looking at people on the outside looking in, they see Fournier and Derrick Rose. But our youngest player is Trevor Kills. He's 19.
Oh, dang.
And he's not, yeah. And I was gonna say Freezy
Or
even,
20, 19, 20
to
something.
even to parrot off your point. We have a lot of young guys on this team, but very few of them are one and dones.
Right.
Brunson not a one and done. Grimes is not a one and done. IQ is not a one and done.
Right.
Obi's not a one and done.
Or one and done.
Right. But
so they have a little bit more seasoning to their game before, and they have like we kind of target
and Tibbs plays them.
So,
and Tibbs plays. See, it's not like a Josh
That part,
Green.
Freezy.
See, Josh Green came out with Obi, right? Josh Green is in that Obi Quickly group, right? What the thing with us is we're playing these young guys in certain roles, like Miles McBride, another young player, right? Hey, Miles, get out here and play all-out defense for these 10 minutes I'm going to give you. You only getting 10. You're getting 5 in the first half, 5 in the second half. This is before the Josh Hart trade. 5 in the first half, 5 in the second half. Your job is to glue their point guard for those 10 minutes. He has a specific role, right?
And shoot open threes. That too.
And miss open threes. That's his role too. Miss open threes. Right. But Rel, what I'm saying to you is there's a specific play, and I know the two don't correlate, but they do correlate, right? Tibbs told him to go out and glue a guy. That's your job, defense only, right? And take threes only if they're absolutely wide open. He was on track for. Then the Brooklyn game, this dude caught a pass in the corner, went to the rim, and tried to dunk on Nick Claxton. Tibbs took him out the game, and he has not played another minute since.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Jesus.
He hadn't played, and the correlation or the coincidence is that we acquired Josh Hart. So it looks as if Tibbs is playing because Josh Hart here. But actually, Tibbs was like, hey, man, I gave you one job. You took a little bit of liberty. Now I got to, you know what I'm saying, prove to you that I'm not playing. I want you to do a certain thing. And I know Knicks fans are going to be like, well, that's not the only reason why he's not playing. Well, how come he didn't finish? We didn't have Josh Hart for the rest of that game. How come Tibbs didn't put him back in? You remember that play when he tried to dunk on Nick Claxton?
Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing?
Hey, man. Hey, I thought he was
hey, look, I kind of salute the
gumption,
the confidence, the confidence it took to do that. But you're also like 6 foot on a good day.
Yeah.
Hey, if he had gotten Nick Claxton, would he still be taking him out?
We'd have still been talking about it. I'd have had it on the wall, a poster on the wall back here behind me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so to your point, I think the combination of Josh Green being a little raw coming out of Arizona, combined with the changing of coaches, right? Mm-hmm. Combined with the roster turnover, right? You know, you go from Brunson to Dinwiddie to Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like all these different things. I think it's a factor, right? But what I would say in the case of a Josh Green, if Josh Green was here, he'd be playing.
Oh yeah.
Right now with y'all already have y'all keep a dynamic backcourt, right? This is not recently. Ever since I've been watching Mavericks basketball. The Mavericks have always had a dynamic backcourt, whether it's Harper and Blackman and Aguirre and Topley and James Donaldson and Jason Kidd, Jimmy Jackson,
Jamal
Finley.
Finley, Nash.
Yeah. They've always had
Van Axel.
Yeah, it's just like the Knicks have always had a forward that can flat out get buckets. You know what I'm saying? We always had that guy.
You said Bernard King?
Bernard King, Xavier McDaniel could get buckets.
Oh, I forgot about X-Men.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we always have a dude that can get buckets, man.
Michael Beasley? I'm kidding.
Oh, man. Derek Williams?
Oh, man.
Quincy AC, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway.
Jesus, man.
But to your point, man, I think what the Mavs are doing to Josh Green is a disservice, because what's going to happen is they're going to need him in the playoffs, and if he don't show up, they're going to feel like he let them down.
Yeah,
but how when you didn't let him rock in those opportunities leading up to the playoffs, as Nev the Destroyer would say, you got to let him play.
Got to build confidence too.
Yeah, exactly, Dre. That's what we've been talking about on our
Reggie
show.
Bullock.
Like
because there's instances where my bad, Orel, but there's instances where a guy like Josh Green will play a hell of a 2.5 quarters. He makes a mistake in the middle of the third quarter, and then Jason Kidd is like, nah.
A blown rotation.
And then I'm gonna run Reggie Bullock the last 17 minutes of this game.
Right. He over there with his tongue hanging out. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we did last year in the playoffs, right? We ran Reggie and Dodo to the ground, man.
Right.
Ran them to the ground. Which, like, look, now don't get me wrong, I'm not I'm not screaming from the mountaintops that this was a great pickup in Justin Holiday. He has helped us. It's just that you're not supposed to be that guy though. Like you supposed to help with
There's
the
limitations.
rotation. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like you supposed to help. Reggie and Josh. Those people supposed to be our first two guys, first in line before you. You know what I mean? Because last year we didn't have a third guy. So your job is to help come in and be that third guy that can spell both Reggie and Josh their minutes or whatever. So not coming here and take over, but that's what they did. It's like he signed on the dotted line. Hey, you want to start? It's like okay, sure.
As soon as he got the jersey, he started. It was like
matter of fact, his number wasn't even pressed on all the way, man, and he started him. It's like, bro, his stuff is coming off the back of his jersey. What are you doing? Like, he settle down first. Let me use it.
Which is like, he didn't even have to learn the defensive schemes or terminologies or the offense or anything. You just gonna print his jersey and play him like he's a superstar or something. Like he can make an impact, but he's not that big of a difference maker where you have to acquiesce and immediately throw him into the rotation at 25, 28 minutes a night when he wasn't even on any other team to get minutes to begin with.
Matter of fact, you know what, Caprizi, to kind of piggyback off what you said about letting the young kids play? Do you know why Holiday wasn't getting minutes in Atlanta?
For a number of reasons. Because he trash.
But the main reason was because they wanted to let Adrian Griffin and all those guys play. That's why they cut his minutes down. He even said that too in the interview here in Dallas.
And Bogey. They wanted to let
you got. They wanted the young guys to play. That's why he did not play.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's one of them things, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. The Jaden Hardy thing is baffling to me, especially when Kemba Walker was getting minutes. How do you play Kemba Walker, who everybody knew was washed? We knew he was washed, right?
Right.
Cooked.
Everybody knew he was washed.
C.
Yes. Right. How do you bring him in and waste money on that when you could play Jaden Hardy? Now, Jaden Hardy offensively is raw.
Yeah.
Right. You don't even have to look at his assist percentages and shot chart to understand, and you don't have to look at his shot coverage, whether he's open, covered, smothered. You don't even have to look at all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know he's a project. This is why y'all got him in the second round, right? Because he's raw, right? My thing is with Dallas is, and I don't understand Dallas's culture, not because it's not understandable. It's just because that's y'all's culture, and I'm not going to get up here and act like I know everything going on in Mavs universe.
I'm willing to bet you what you got to say about our culture. I can probably say you're right,
bro. You just got to play these young kids because they're not going to develop any other way. Like with Hardy, like for instance, I think you guys have been giving minutes to a dude that I like, a point guard I liked out of Colorado named McKinley Wright. Right. I liked him out of Colorado. The only thing I didn't like about him is the same thing that a lot of teams don't like, his size.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not saying that his game is despicable. It's just you wish you could. He plays like a 6'3" guard. Like has this, like he's got a little moxie to him, got a little court leadership to him, a little command to him. Dre, he reminds me a little bit of Ish Smith. You remember him?
Oh, that's good. That's a great comparison.
He reminds me of him, right? The only thing though is both of those guys are on the short side, right?
Yeah.
But if you give him minutes to him, why not give those minutes to Jaden Hardy? Because here's the thing: if Jaden Hardy is a 2, then you have to develop him as a 2, right? If he's a point guard, though, why not give him those point guard minutes that you've been throwing away this season? I mean, throw away minutes. Look,
they gave minutes to Theo Pinson.
They gave multiple games
back to back.
Right.
Oh my god.
And like high numbers,
and they were giving him late game, fourth quarter minutes, bro. Theo Pinson,
right?
The cheerleader Theo Pinson.
Yes.
Like most expensive assistant coach on the bench, Theo Pinson.
Ever.
I'm watching this. I'm like, yo, What is Jason Kidd on, bro? Like, why is this guy playing? I'm not even gonna get to it. They still, matter of fact, they still have Frank Ntilikina getting burned, bro.
Right.
Still.
But Dre, my point is,
Dre, you must have been watching a lot of Mavs games, man.
Yo, y'all gave 130 something minutes to Kemba Walker. Why?
Listen, this is what I need both of y'all to do for me. maybe y'all can help me out with this. Maybe y'all can disguise yourselves as reporters. Go into the press conferences and ask these questions because the Dallas media is not going to ask these questions.
No.
Because as soon as they ask these, matter of fact, shout out to the guys that were on our show. I'll tell you about the guys who got the inside information and stuff. We were talking about the fact that Freezy, matter of fact, I think I told you this before, Freezy. So it was a few years ago. This is how petty Mark Cuban is. Y'all thought that Dolan was petty last year and all with all the stuff he was doing? No, Mark Cuban got him beat. If you go in there and ask him any kind of question, the stuff y'all asking me right now, go ask Mark Cuban that and see what happens to you as a reporter. He's gonna pull your credentials.
Yeah.
He did that to ESPN. Most of the folks at ESPN couldn't go in there and ask questions anymore. He pulled their credentials for the whole entire year.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the questions y'all are asking, like I said before, if you've seen our show, you've heard me say this. We ask these questions. We're toxic. These questions that y'all are asking are very valid questions. I'm just asking you a simple question. Why can't this player get minutes? Why is this player playing over this? Like I said, like Dre just said, Theo Pinson ain't played all year long. And you got this guy playing significant minutes in the fourth quarter, and he's a backup center.
Right.
But if I ask the question,
he was drafted
toxic.
as a.
You see what I'm saying?
Bro, it's like he's drafted as a point guard, and ESPN has him listed as a small forward. This is how irrelevant he is. That ESPN doesn't even know that he's actually a point guard.
Right. Right.
You know what's crazy though, Dre? He's, to me, if the average basketball fan knows Theo Pinson, as like you said, he's a hype guy. He's an expensive, like you said, expensive assistant coach on the court, on the bench. He's taking up a roster spot.
Right.
We need bigs, but you got Theo Pinson signed.
Why don't y'all play y'all bigs?
Where do I Howard
Say that one more time, Freezy. Say that one more time. Play what now?
Why y'all don't play y'all bigs?
Oh, we talking about the slew of bigs that we got according to Jason Kidd?
Yeah.
Oh, why we don't play them? Great question. I don't know.
Yeah.
This all these questions y'all ask, we ask this every single show. It feels like, man, and like I said, that we ask this. They always hone in on Mavs Twitter, whether it be Mark Cuban or it be Jason Kidd or whoever, or some of the gatekeepers of Mav Media.
Right.
They always focus their attention on us. Because for some reason, Mavs Media is the issue. Mavs Twitter is the issue.
Right.
We're the issue, but you're making the decisions.
I got a question because I'm from the outside looking in. I've seen JaVale McGee play a few games, and albeit I'm not the biggest JaVale McGee proponent.
Right.
But if given a specific role, if you're going against a team with a traditional center out there,
right,
it makes no sense to not play him 12, 15 minutes.
Right.
Just
listen to me.
Rotationally.
I'm watching Dwight Powell get abused by every center on the boards.
Stop watching the Mavs games, man. Stop watching the Mavs games. Yeah. Jesus.
Like he is getting, and it's not like maybe he's a great locker room guy. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's a coach's pet. I don't look, man. I'm watching these Mavs games, and I'm just like, what is his purpose?
Dre, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told a few of the people in the Glow Yard. Stop making sense. I'm gonna need you to stop making sense right now, because I swear to you, Dre, everything that you're saying right now is what we've been talking about. I know you watch our shows. You probably heard us say this.
I watch a bit of it, but when I'm I don't use just straight up words. I need an eye test. I need to look at it myself. And I watch a lot of basketball, so I've probably seen maybe 15 to 20 Mavs games over the course of this season. And there's recurring themes that I see.
Yep.
And not even just recurring themes. Dwight Powell has been in the league, 7 years?
Like 9 years.
Yeah.
Is it? We know what he is.
Yep.
And what he isn't.
Yep.
What does he have on Mark Cuban where he keeps getting these contracts?
He's got the trench coat and the manila envelope, bro.
Say, and somebody said that one of the people who was on our show yesterday said that, man. He said, I don't know, he must got something on him, man, because there's no way in the world this dude was on any other team. Matter of fact, he was on y'all team. Y'all would have been traded him a long time ago. He would have been a journeyman.
In the league anymore. He would have been
a journeyman. You understand what I'm saying? Either that or, like you said, not in the league anymore.
You would see him on 2K as a free agent.
Exactly.
Every offseason. That's what you
I asked this question the other day about Dwight Powell, right? So, like Freezy was just talking about with Josh Green. We're demanding Josh Green to go out there and develop, right? You gotta develop your get your handles up, get your mid-range shot, all that stuff, right? We telling you to develop your game.
Right.
So, Dre, you've been watching this long enough. What has Dwight Powell developed over the last 8 or 9 years?
He's gotten better at getting beat up by real centers.
Gotcha. Okay. So I said this yesterday.
It ain't scoring.
Oh, can't score. He can't score
because he had an ACL or an Achilles, I believe.
Listen, I'm gonna ask both of y'all a question. Y'all are basketball purists. Have y'all ever seen a guy go to the Hall of Fame on just strictly being an energy guy?
No.
No. Interesting. So why are we keeping him then? Because he can't shoot, he can't dribble, he can't play defense, he can't rebound, he can't block shots. All you do is bring energy and set good screens, but yet we'll continue to keep extending this guy. Why is that?
I'm not for sure. But I think
I thought maybe y'all had answers for me because I don't know.
I think I have the answer for what I think can turn Dallas into a championship contender. I think y'all are there right now. I think y'all are right there. But
we need a big.
But
a real big.
You can't tell right now because it's the end of the season. You know, it ain't the playoffs. But once games start coming on TNT and ABC, you know what I'm saying? When them playoff games start coming on, I think that's when Dallas will show up, right? But I think what Dallas probably needs is a player that could be a short roll guy to hit y'all spot up shooters in a shooting pocket. Not Luka, right? I'm talking about when they trap Luka can get the ball out of his hands and get it to like a short roll guy and hit guys in the corner.
A Bruce Brown type would have been perfect for them.
Oh, Dre, stop talking, man, because you're making too much sense.
Too much sense right here, right?
You're making way too much sense tonight. I said this exact same thing when he was available. I said, bro, if we would have got Bruce Brown. Think about this too, Dre. The money we spent to get JaVale McGee was the same money that Denver spent to get Bruce Brown.
Right.
Oh, my God. And you see what he looks like next to superstars.
Thank you. He's the quintessential glue guy.
Right.
And he's actually skilled. Like, he's not.
Yes. Can put the ball on the floor and get his own.
What's the dude from the Rockets, man? What's his name? Tate?
Yeah.
Remember the dude from the Rockets?
Yeah, Jason Tate, yeah.
And he's a little guy, right? I think he's short.
He's
right?
6'5", but he's like 250. He's a heavy.
He built like Dort, like Dort from OKC.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5", but he's like 250, legitimately.
Yeah,
like 240, 250.
A guy like that can dribble in space. You know what I'm saying? That can catch. First of all, I think that's a very underrated skill in the NBA. Soft hands, being able to catch a ball in traffic, and being able to make passes to others, right? And I've seen. Trust me, Nerlens Noel. I honestly don't even know why this dude is even in it. He must have something on teams in the league. His workouts must be amazing.
I thought you were gonna say the commissioner.
He must have something on.
Right.
Hey, he got the Tim Donaghy lost tapes. That's what it is. That's what's keeping him in the league.
Hey, if you couldn't play for Detroit, Freezy. Come on. Come on, man.
he bro, yeah, but ultimately, if the Mavs can find that guy that can be that glue guy, move the ball along, to get the pass from Luka, kick it out to a bullet guy, you know what I'm saying, or get get Dwight Powell easy dunks and lobs at the rim.
Oh, I was gonna say get the wipe out team. I was with you.
Oh well, that's harder than getting glue gun. You know what I'm saying? but yeah, man. If Dallas can get that type of guy, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I think they will find that guy when the playoffs get here. Because
I think that could be Josh Green.
Maybe
he can put the ball on the floor. He can pass.
Yeah.
He's aggressive. Matter of fact, a lot of the things that Josh Green is good at is same things that we commend Josh Hart for. Yes. It's just that he's younger, so he has time to fill out and develop into being the ideal glue guy. Like Josh. I mean, like on a bad team, Green could probably get 16, 17 every night. But the things that he needs to do for the Mavs, you see it show up. It's not box score stuff. It's the effort. It's actual tangible effort. Because when we talk about effort, he has the effort where it'll show up and it'll be impactful. He'll get the 50-50 ball. Where Dwight Powell show effort, he still won't get the rebound though. But he'll give you a great shot at the rebound. Like he'll try really, really hard, but he'll still get boxed out.
Back tap he always do.
Yeah,
I was thinking that player should be Christian Wood.
Yeah,
Christian Wood at the free throw line.
He done it before and got like 7 or 8 assists in a game doing it.
Yeah. It's the with him it's the double-edged sword. If you overplay the pass, he will get buckets.
There you go.
From that 12-foot area.
There you go.
Right.
Crazy.
He can put the ball on the floor and beat a big to the rim.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Talked about that before, yeah.
And the thing is, and if you press it, Christian Wood could back you up all the way to the 3-point line. And I'm not saying Christian Wood for 3 is Porzingis, right?
To be honest with you, with us, he better than Porzingis. Porzingis was like shooting like 33%. Christian Wood shooting like 37, 38%.
Yeah, with that straight on 3. Any other 3, I don't want him taking it. I'm sorry, right? Because
what you mean by any other 3?
Huh?
What you mean by you talking off the dribble 3?
No, off the wing or in the corner. I don't want him to look for that shot. Now, if it's there and he take it, okay. But I don't want him looking for that shot. I think what optimizes y'all's offense is threatening the rim with a Christian Wood when teams come out to trap Luka.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They'd be
that's how you do it.
Yeah, they'll be less likely to come out and trap Luka if they know that they're going to give up buckets in the heart of their defense.
Right.
Is what I'm getting at. And then if they just zone up and cover those 2, then you have Reggie Bullock and Hardaway Jr. and the other spot-up shooters on the weak side that can just knock down threes uncovered. And so Dallas's offense wins at every level. And what happens is if they just go to a straight perimeter defense, I like Luka and Kyrie off the dribble beating a man one-on-one every time.
Oh yeah.
You know, we don't have guys like that, though. You know, I think the same thing works for us too. Randall,
you know what, and you know what, like the guy that you're describing. I mean,
is Randall?
Nah. I'm saying, but
yeah.
But the role, like you can have a pseudo effect of the short roll if you were to just let Luka and Kyrie play off of each other and let small man pick and let Kyrie get the ball at the nail to make a decision, which he has the skill to do.
Yeah.
But
I just don't like small guards screening. I don't like small guards hammer screening, even though I like to look at it. I don't like elite guards doing it because of the injury risk.
Right. And I don't want to say.
I mean, but that's just my feeling, though. That's my opinion.
Right.
I was like, we did that. We used to do that with Jason Terry and Dirk.
Right.
Yeah.
We played a 2-man game with those 2 at the end of games.
You would either cause a switch or there would be some sort of mismatch, and Jason Terry would get his little 15-footer off.
Yep.
Or if you didn't succumb to it, Dirk would just mosey his way and basically face up and walk all the way down to his block.
I like seeing it with JJ Barea. I don't know if y'all remember JJ Barea, but there's nothing better than watching JJ Barea hammer screen somebody, hammer screen a big, and annoy them half to death. You know what I'm saying? You like
he was just short and squatty. He had that body. He could take it.
Yeah, he's like, this little dude is cheating. How's he cheating? He keeps screening me. Well, you screen him. But yeah,
And I
I'm
wanted to say like one last thing. Like we started to see like hints of chemistry between Luca and Kyrie in the last game, and I want to see if that can blossom and develop between what the last 18, 19 games of the season. Because
Hmm.
if that takes off, it doesn't matter what seed the Mavs are. There's it it's just
Dre,
problematic when them two are on
be
the
honest
court at
with
the
you, I'm
same
not scared
time.
of anybody in the West, and I'm not trying to be cocky or anything. I just last year was different. This year, now because we do have Kyrie, I'm not scared of anybody.
right.
We already know what Luka gonna do in the playoffs. I just take Luka
You
sitting
already
to the
know.
side. That's
Right.
given. He gonna
It's
get you
like a
30 off
given.
the. Yeah,
It's like a given. Luca's gonna win you a game just because it's Luca.
exactly.
In any
Yeah,
series, in every
in
series,
any
he's gonna win you
series.
a game. Yeah,
So that's why I
yeah.
said like I'm not worried about Luca. And then you give him. I've been saying for the longest. Finally give him a guy. We know his track record in the playoffs too. So
Is it true off guards for the Mavericks always cook in the playoffs?
Of
Is it
course,
true the
like
secondary playmakers always cook for the Mavericks in the playoffs?
you
Terry.
talking about with Luca or you talking about in general?
No, not Luca, but the other best
No, I'm talking
players.
about like with in Luca's time here, or you talking about just in general in our
No, just
history?
in general, just in
Mavs
general.
period. I guess
Yeah,
Mavs period. Like
Let
over
me see.
history.
because I remember a time when Michael Finley couldn't be stopped in the playoffs against Phoenix. I remember a
Oh,
time where
but yeah, because Philly
I'm
was a
like
guard.
some of my earliest memories was watching Nick Van Exel
I
like
knew you gonna
completely
say that, Drake. I knew it.
annihilate the
Yes,
team for like 30, like a quick 30. Like
man.
he had the
Yes,
ability to dribble a lot, but he had the pull up jumper, so he would just take two dribbles and it's going up, and there's nothing you could do because you're
clutch,
so scared of his first step.
yeah,
clutch. It
yeah,
was deadly, man. Shoot,
yeah.
even Monte Ellis.
Monte
Right,
Ellis
Monte
Man,
Ellis was
Monte
good for
was
you
so
for a few
nice,
years.
man.
it was a bucket.
Yeah, he was so nice, man.
All right, so Dre, let me ask you this. I'm gonna put you absolutely on the spot, right?
Mm.
Is there? And I'm gonna ask Rel the same question too, right? But Dre, is there a scenario where you can see the New York Knicks hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy this season?
Okay, the scenario would have to be Giannis getting hurt. That's that's
No, no,
Man,
no. Hey, so oh, okay,
because
okay.
I'm gonna keep it a buck.
let's see.
I think we could give hell to every team in the East besides the Bucks. There's just I know how you feel about the Bucks, but I just have reservations on how we would match up against the Bucks because number one, Tibbs would try to put Randall on Giannis, and you know Giannis is gonna get them foul
That's
calls,
gonna neutralize Randall. Yeah,
and that it automatically almost well not neutralize, but it'll put a crimp on our offense because he means so much to this offense. And then as great as Brunson is, you kind of saw the inklings of where he might have problems when he goes against an elite defense in the playoffs. Where when the Warriors actually decided to scheme him up out of there, they did
Yeah,
because well, I think he's better now. I think he's better this year because he can shoot from off the dribble from three, which basically unlocks all the elite guards. At that
right,
point last year, he didn't have the neon green light to take the off the dribble pull up three whenever he felt like it, or
right,
to cancel off teams trapping him in a pick and roll. But
right.
but there are limitations for a 6 foot guard at some point. So like if your number two guy is not getting going, and we're all relying on Brunson, it might be tough sledding against that team when they have Drew Holiday and they have Chris Middleton and they have Giannis and Brook Lopez being the two best rim protectors in the league at the same time. It presents issues. Now the
Okay.
other teams, we could bludgeon them, bully them to death.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Like
Rel,
we beat teams up. Like when teams, my bad, Freezy. I was gonna say when teams have guys that have like a nagging injury and they see the Knicks up on schedule, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna sit this game out. I'm gonna play
just sit.
the next game.
Just sit. Yeah.
And look what happened tomorrow. Brogdon is not playing, and
Right.
Robert Williams are not playing, and they don't have serious injuries, by the way. It's just little
Right.
nagging nicks and dings, and they announced before the game, oh, they're not gonna play
All right.
because we will beat them the hell up.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna get beat up now. But
Yeah.
but let me ask Rel. Rel, is there a scenario where you see the Dallas Mavericks this season hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy?
If we play Sacramento right now, what it looks like, if we're gonna end up playing Sacramento first round, yes, I'm gonna say yes. Now,
Okay.
the reason why I say that about Sacramento is strictly offense. They don't
Yeah.
have the greatest
All
defense.
offense.
And you know what that reminds me of with this team? It reminds me of those earlier Sacramento teams, and it also reminds me of those Dirk Nash Finley days with the Mavericks, where
Yep.
it was strictly offense, defense was a suspect.
Yep.
And when it gets to the playoffs, you're gonna have to guard a team 4 out of 7 times.
Yep.
We've been there before. You haven't.
Right.
Also,
I
like
trust, like I said before, I trust Luka and Kyrie a whole lot more in the playoffs than I do De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. That's no disrespect to those guys. We've seen Sabonis
DeMontis
sometimes
Sabonis is
show
going
us.
to be on the island for a
Yeah.
lot of that series. If it were to
Yeah,
happen,
and-
he's going to be on an island by
He's
himself.
a terrible pick and roll defender.
And we got Maxi Kleber back. So we didn't play last time we played them. We didn't have Maxi, so that's gonna make a bigger difference too. But yeah, that I say that because we beat the 3rd seed, and I mean we beat the 3rd seed. So we'll play who?
The
played
Suns
four-
or the
or Golden
Suns.
State. Or Golden State.
Well,
So-
well, damn. It depends if one of the top 2 seeds get upset because the way it's setting up, I think by the time everything's all said and done, I think the Suns are going to be in that 1-2 area. I gotta
Oh,
check
you
right
talking about
this
the end?
second.
Talking about the
You think
end of the
so?
season?
Well, let me see. Let me check.
Nah, well, they're 4 games.
You know
back
what
up.
though? You know what though, Dre? I think you know what. To be real with you, the way Memphis is looking right now, I would not be surprised we play Memphis first round.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
and okay. And well, the Grizzlies and Ja thinking he's
Yeah, and not just that. Clark is out for the season.
yep.
And this is a lot of stuff going on right now in Memphis, man. They not in there right now. They ain't been looking to. I mean, they 6-4.
Steven Adams
you know what
been
I'm saying?
out
It's
with
okay.
the PCL. Steven Adams
Yeah.
been out with the
And-
PCL,
and
and you're
young
never really
Tibbs-
right.
Young Tibbs is running that franchise just like old Tibbs did Chicago, bro.
And
Only thing he's not doing is he actually puts guys on minutes restrictions. Like none of his main guys play more than 30.
we
At all,
always do a
period.
good job too against Ja Morant.
I would say I'm gonna say this, bro. I'm gonna say this. Because I think y'all's road is gonna have to include the Denver Nuggets and LA Clippers. Because I don't think you want to see the Phoenix Suns at all.
To the
Right.
West Conference Finals, or you talking about at all?
No, period. I don't think y'all want to see them in the second
They
round.
ain't
first
scared.
round,
Ain't
with
scared of them.
WCF. Huh?
Oh,
Man,
Mavs
I
fans
don't-
are not scared of them. I mean, the Suns in general, not
Yeah,
necessarily this iteration.
but Dre,
of the
like
Suns.
when I was boxing, and I'm not saying that I was the best boxer, but
Right.
when I was boxing, the dudes I beat the easiest was the dude that wasn't afraid to get punched. You know what I'm saying? The dudes that ain't afraid to get hit are always the dudes that lose. You know what I'm saying? So if you're like you want to see a team that got air in their chest, you know what I'm saying? Because they'll be stubborn. They'll believe more in themselves than what you are doing to them. Right? What I would say, I would cherry pick that road. Right? If I'm Dallas, I'm staying exactly where I'm at, getting that 3-6 matchup. Right?
Yeah,
Right? Getting that 3-6 matchup.
with either Memphis or
And-
Sacramento.
Yeah, and knocking off Memphis or Sacramento, right? And then if one of them win their first round matchup and y'all get them in the second round, it's the same thing. Now you got a easy trip to the Western Conference Finals Whereas I think the Phoenix Suns will defeat the Denver Nuggets in a 7-game series. Right? Because I just can't see, because the Nuggets have a lot of wing players, right? But they ain't got nobody that can guard KD. They ain't got nobody that can guard Devin Booker.
They'll try to put Aaron Gordon on KD. They'll try.
They'll probably put Aaron Gordon on KD.
And he's a good defender, by the way, right?
But
But he's no
KD's
KD stopper.
And no, there is no KD stopper on this planet. Only thing that stops KD is KD, provided he has adequate
The
talent.
only KD stopper is a cat like Luka that can give him bucket for bucket. Right? That's what I'm saying. And then I like my chances Kyrie versus Chris Paul for 35 minutes. I like those odds there. Right? The only thing is the Mavericks are going to have to come up with a third guy by committee that's going to be able to neutralize what Devin Booker does offensively. He's a good defender.
Yeah, he's a good defender.
But what he does offensively is what you have to neutralize.
That's the key to me. Yeah, Freezy. I was going to say that was the key to it, because I think whoever can give Devin Booker the most difficult time, not necessarily just on offense, but on defense, like Green would have to be on him the entire time. Like, I do not trust Reggie Bullock on Devin Booker. Green and his athleticism.
I like him on Devin Booker though.
Yes, actually, Dre, he did pretty good on last year. He didn't do too bad.
He did.
If you remember the
I feel like there was a lot of help defense though, because your scheme last year relied on a lot of like sending stunts.
I'm talking about 2 years ago though, Dre. I'm talking about 2 years ago when Bullock was a Knick, and they just put him on him and took Devin Booker completely out of games, right? And Devin Booker was on the court crying up there, looking like Shirley Temple.
We used to that.
Crying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He playing too physical. You know, he pushed me down. All that crying.
Get mad, his face get red, which is funny.
Yeah, he up there looking like Orphan Annie. You know what I'm saying? And so while I'm not saying that Devin Booker's not a great NBA player, because he is,
right, and
he has gotten better since that time. But what I'm saying is not neutralize, but go toe to toe with. Like, can Dallas's wing players go toe to toe with Devin Booker and Terrence Ross? And off the muscle, it sounds like no, right? Off the bucket, off the rip, it sounds like no, because Terrence Ross is going to win a game in that series by himself. He's going to have a 31-point game against Dallas, regardless. Yeah, they could bring back Deshaun Stevenson, and they can bring back Sean Marion, and Terrence Ross is still going to score 31 points against the Mavs in a series. It happens. It's who he is, right?
I was going to say, Freezy. Hey, go ahead. My fault. Finish.
No, go ahead, boss.
Finish. I was going to say the blueprint's already been out there to how to neutralize a team that has more talent than you, and it's something that Kyrie and LeBron did already. It is control pace of play.
Yep.
Right.
Be great in isolation, amazing in isolation.
We got
limit turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing is, you gotta have a guy like what's his name? The Kardashian guy, Tristan Thompson. You need a guy just to be out there. You just need a guy out there to get 10, 11 rebounds. That's the only thing to limit.
Guys.
Yeah. There's one on the Suns.
Yeah, exactly.
But I was gonna say, but besides that, it's controlling pace of play, limiting turnovers, playing elite isolation basketball, and if, honest to God, the series might actually hinge on what's his name, the center that you just signed, JaVale McGee, actually playing substantial minutes in that series.
I was just about to get to that because
that'd be a perfect time to play as Phoenix.
When all else fails, can Phoenix depend? I was gonna say when all else fails, can you depend on DeAndre Ayton, right? And because I'm not gonna lie to you, at this point, I feel like the Phoenix Suns are the NBA champs. I don't see nobody beating them because Paul, Booker, KD, DeAndre Ayton, Terrence Ross. In my mind, that's too much for a lot of teams. Now, do I think Dallas can get there and compete with them? Yes, but Dallas definitely has to get something out of Christian Wood. I think Christian Wood has to be 20-10 for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? And decent
We
defense, not
definitely need
elite,
him.
but decent.
You need your tertiary players to also shoot at a high clip from
Yep.
three. Which,
Yep. If Wood
Which-
does that, Dre.
yeah,
Yeah.
If Wood does that, 20-10, like you have Kyrie and Luka are gonna do what they do. It don't matter win or
I don't
lose.
even
They're
think
gonna
it
be
need to
both
be
of them dudes
20
gonna
and
be
10.
30.
I think it could be.
Just
I
give us
think
what
it
he was
could be
giving when he was
18.
starting. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm
Just
saying,
Give
I
us
think
what
it-
he was giving when he was starting.
I think it could be 18 and 10, 17 and 10, 17 and
But
11.
Dre, let me explain why I said 20-10 though. Let me explain why I say 20-10. The reason why I say 20-10, for one, if Christian Wood is scoring 20 points on the interior of a team's defense, that means all of a sudden 10 eyes are not on Luka and 10 eyes are not on Kyrie, right? And say you devise a defense to slow those three down. Now you're giving cats like Reggie Bullock and Tim Hardaway Jr. the opportunity to shoot in an empty gym. They get empty gym threes now, right? As opposed to Reggie Bullock having to put the ball on the floor and create, which we know he can't do. We saw him, we saw Derrick Rose got a loose ball in Atlanta, bro. They threw Reggie Bullock a touchdown pass on the other end of the court by himself. And I saw it live, bro, in State Farm Arena. Reggie Bullock caught that pass like Randy Moss and ran that football out of bounds, bro. He took 9 steps without dribbling and ran out of bounds. And when he turned around, everybody was like, yo, what you did? All he could do
that was a
laugh,
momentum altering play as well. Like we were getting back into the game.
7. We were down by 7, and if he hit that layup, it's a 2-possession game.
It puts pressure on them.
And he catches the ball at the 3-point line and runs it all the way out of bounds. And bro, it's the most embarrassing. Oh my God, Reggie Bullock!
There's no attacking a closeout with Reggie Bullock. None of that.
No.
It's if you on him, he's just gonna pass the ball. Because if he puts the ball on the floor, he's going to travel.
It's a wrap, yes.
Right.
Right. Hey, Freezy. I'm finna get ready to hit on up, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too, man. I'm gonna jump on early I'm gonna try to jump on early in the morning too. You know what I'm saying? Do some old school Knicks, man. Hey, when we gonna get together and do some talk about some sneakers, man. I know you probably the second best dude on the channel when it comes to sneakers, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I live this, bro. I can't help it.
Oh yeah, me too, man. Matter of fact, I just told my wife, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get it's a pair of Lucas that came out, his first ones that came out I haven't even gotten yet.
Okay.
I ordered them. Nike ended up sending them back because I wasn't at home to sign for them.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, so then when I went back to the website to order another pair, they already sold out. So excuse me, I gotta go the StockX route, which is what I was trying not to do.
Oh,
and then
geez.
they were kind of cheaper. They were a little cheaper on
cheaper.
StockX, but then they ended up ballooning back up to like 200 something. So I was like, crap. Well,
jeez, man.
You gotta bite the
go that
bullet.
route to get them, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Thank you for coming through, hanging out with us, man. I did talk to Eat Sleep Sixers. I was chopping it up with them from the chat. Don't know what's gonna come of that, but their joint, I like them too. So
Hey, send me a link to their channel, Freezy, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Or you just want to wait?
No. Let me see. I'll do it. I'll do it right now while we up here because I subscribe to the channel already. So I'm gonna just go to the thing, and then I'm gonna just put it in the regular chat. That way anybody can go check them out. Wiz is in the building. Before you get out of here, what do y'all have coming up so we can check out your content?
Tomorrow evening, man, we got our post game. We got an early game tomorrow, but I gotta work tomorrow. So, the game is at 12 o'clock in the afternoon here. So I think it's 2 o'clock. 2
o'clock our time.
Yeah, 2 o'clock your time. So yeah, play Phoenix tomorrow.
Ooh.
So that's gonna be the game.
with KD.
Ooh.
with KD. This is gonna be the game, man. And it's on
That's a
national
bad
TV.
game to
So
miss, man. That's a bad
yeah.
game to miss.
Well,
But I know
no.
you're
I
gonna
can.
check out.
No, I got the app on my phone. I watch it while I'm at
Okay.
work.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's how I mostly watch my games on my phone because I'm at work most of the time. So,
Right.
but yeah, since I got to work tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the show tomorrow evening, probably around the time I get up, probably around like 10:30 my time. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
Shout out to
What
King
else?
as well.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah.
King Kai as well. What else you got going on, bro?
appreciate it, Wiz. Yeah, I know you was there, man. Appreciate it. But that's about it, man. We just
Okay.
do our thing, do our post games, we do our members only shows on Fridays. We're trying to get some other people on guests to come on. We kind of working that right now, trying to get some other people on, man, for the members. I think now we're gonna start doing our member shows. Like whatever collab we do is gonna be with the member shows. So kind of like a reward for them. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool idea, bro. Anytime you need somebody to just come in and talk you half to death, I'm available.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You already know how we do it. You already know how we do it, man. For sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Any updates I get, man? I did the Chicago guy. That's still working on that, man. But any breaking news, of course, I'll hit you up.
Yes, sir.
Thank you everybody for coming through, hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Old school Knicks definitely in the morning. You know how we're gonna talk that old school Knicks. We talking Pat Ewing, Bernard King. We're gonna do that old school Knicks thing after that every day. Every Sunday, 11 o'clock, y'all. Run with us, start off the week, and then from there we'll see how everything else goes. Thank y'all for tuning in. We enjoyed y'all company. Peace, y'all.